fashion fade, style is eternal. And I am very happy to have Francesca with us, and she's going to introduce herself to the viewers.
My name is Francesca Zampaglione, and yes, indeed, I am a CPA turned stylist.
So this is like extraordinary story. When we talked together, I giggled a lot through our conversation because a CPA turned stylist. How did you come about that?
Well, thank you for asking me, Gabby, and most importantly, thank you for having me today on your show. I went to school for accounting, but I will say this, they were just natural transgressions that happened. I've always had a heart into image and style. It was always very important to me. I don't know if it was my upbringing. My parents immigrated from Italy to here, and understanding the culture and the formality of it, right? My aunts would get dressed up to go to the grocery store. I mean, there's some really cool things, and never wear pants. My mother didn't wear pants, I think, until the 70s, and she immigrated here, 1960. Could have been the 80s, actually. But in any event, it's just growing up in that culture and that appreciation and that formality. So went to school for accounting, got a job at a great public accounting firm, was there for about a decade, did a couple of things, and then I landed at a CPA association. But the great thing was image and the importance of it was always inherent in my being and how I presented myself, right? So here I am, this little kid who, my parents immigrated here. There's a lot of lost of translation. It's not like they could help me out with my schoolwork. So I became very resourceful, and understanding what I had and what I could give. What I learned from them was their resiliency and their tenacity and their hard work ethic. So I had that when I graduated college, but I felt that, how else could I set myself apart? And that was my image. I wanted to always dress to the next level. Again, it was just an innate talent. So I bring up my most recent corporate position because when I was there, Gabby, I continued conversations with partners who I used to work with at the accounting firms, and they said, "Oh gosh, Francesca, these millennials, they don't know how to dress." And I giggled, right? Just like we giggled when we first talked about this. And I said, "Okay, well, what do you mean they don't know how to dress?" "Well, the young men, they don't shave, and I have to keep shaving cream and a razor in my desk drawer because I'm too embarrassed to bring them out to clients." And the young men, "Oh gosh, I can't have conversations," or the young ladies, "I can't have conversations." So I'm like, you have to tell them, you can't hold them back. Like, that's not fair. So it's a difficult conversation. I'm like, I'll tell them. So I created this presentation and it went over really well. And other accounting firms heard about it, and I delivered it at various accounting firms and then colleges and universities. So I guess what I'm telling you is this conversation started about 15 years ago. And that seems like dated, but I will tell you this, I am still having the very same conversation. We don't say millennials, we still say the younger generation, but there's a lot of disparity out there in expectation and what's appropriate for work. And especially now as we've transitioned and a lot of us are working remotely, so there's a lot of curiosity as to how that's going to change. But essentially, I broke off from corporate in 2017 and just have flourished this idea and have created an online course now to share with individuals. So that's the story.
It is an awesome story, and I totally align with you because I know that when my mom comes over from Europe and we go groceries shopping, and she's like, "You didn't put your lipstick on." I'm like, "Oh, sorry." Let go put my lipstick on. So this is how your heritage has brought you to what you are today, and transitioning from
Yeah.
a CPA to that stylist, and now developing that course for anybody to strive into what they are doing, because really fashion and style is more than a fade. It is really should be part of your character. So tell us a little bit more about your online course.
Sure. And just to segue on what you just finished, it is what you wear is so important because it is how you feel. And I mentioned this in the course, right? When we put on certain things like a jacket, we feel authoritative and important. And why shouldn't we feel that way when we're solving people's problems? That's what work is, right? So the online course that I've put together and that I've incorporated is incorporated like all of these concepts over the 15-year worth of conversations. And most importantly, I've updated for this decade because it has I did four, but five strategic virtual interview tips, right? What's important for a virtual interview, because that's pretty much what we're doing. I am going full force and sharing this with college students as well, because there's a lot of curiosity and not knowing what's appropriate. And I just want to set them at ease because they have enough things to worry about. But I speak to that. I speak to what you and I just mentioned about the different generations and what's expected. The older generations more, I should say the more experienced generation is more formal, and the younger generation is typically less formal. So let's talk about that disparity and how we can keep each other happy. I also talk about like why it's important to dress for your audience. So if your clients are of a more experienced generation, they're dressed to what they expect, right? Dress a little more formal if that's who you're meeting with. So the 5 tips, the understanding of audience, and then I have articles and links in there. I have like really cute short quizzes to reinforce concepts and videos. It's self-paced. It's really easy to get through. But most importantly, it's the message about the importance of how you feel and the mindset. When you're doing a virtual interview, dress from head to toe as if you are there in person. I think that's really important for us to keep in mind. And then I have some addendums in there, Gabby, that I threw in there right before I published it, because I was having conversations where people were laying down in their bedroom taking interviews. Like, we need to be seated in a seat. So I created a video just to deliver that message.
Dressing head to toe, it's definitely very important to really feel the character. And but let us know, how can we reach out to you to be able to join that course, to buy that course? How do we reach out?
Well, thank you, Gabby. What I'll do to make it very easy for your viewers and your listeners, I will post in the notes below, as well as in LinkedIn, just to make it nice and easy for them. It's a very quick, easy link. So thank you for asking me that question, because that's an important question.
Now, I know you say it's self-paced, but how long is the course? Like, if I was pacing myself and studying this regularly every day, how long would it take me to, absorb and digest all that information?
That's a great question. So it might take you an hour. So the videos I've kept relatively short because, as we've discussed and agreed with, the attention span is short. So the videos are no more than 6 minutes, right? So very short videos, they start and stop wherever you want to. But if you really wanted to drill through the information, you can do everything in an hour or less. And like I said, I have helpful links and articles, like additional resources that you don't have to go through, but you could absolutely do it within an hour's time.
Before we wrap it up, positive words for the viewers out there.
What I have to say and what I've shared in my course is, when you're getting ready for a meeting or an interview, pick out your outfit the day before. And when you put that on, feel it. Make sure you feel everything that you want to feel, confident and positive, and you'll get that job. And if you don't, that's okay. But it's all about that feeling, Gabby. It's about feeling right and purposeful and knowing that you're there to help that company solve its problems. And then it's easy from there because it's happy, right? You want to be in a happy place. So it's all about that feeling, Gabby. I really want to focus in on that.
Thank you so much. So you have heard it from Francesca. She's offering you the opportunity to self-paced learning how to really present yourself accordingly for the job that you're representing. So style is more than fashion, it's also a feeling. So you can reach out to Francesca, and thank you so much to have joined us
Thank you
today.
so much, Gabby. It was an honor. I appreciate it. Thanks.